Hello, I am Kathryn Hoxie Nixon, and I'm sitting today here with Jonathan Nixon, who is a touring musician and also producer and engineer and wears many hats. So I'm going to sit here today and ask some questions about his music career and some of the things he's accomplished. You are living the dream of so many people. But did you have any other dreams besides becoming a working musician?
Well, there were dreams of playing football a long time ago, and then I got injured, and those dreams kind of faded away. And I got old, so they really faded away. But yeah, I couldn't see it any other way right now.
Yeah. Well, sometimes when certain things don't work out, it seems like it creates the space for what's really meant to be
Yes.
to happen. So how long have you been performing, playing, and or recording music?
Oh man, I can't put a definite number on it, but well over 25 years, maybe 30. Might be telling my age, but I started at an early age as a kid playing drums in church, and then picked up the bass, and then a few other instruments, and here we are today.
So your main instrument is bass, but what other instruments do you play or do you feel comfortable playing, whether it be live or in the studio?
Drums, piano, maybe guitar. In the studio, I'm like crazy good, but in public, I'm crazy scared. So, yeah. But I also played brass instruments like trumpet, tuba, things like that. But it's been a long time.
You're literally a one-man band. Did you ever formally study music, and how important do you think getting a formal education is to being a musician?
Well, yeah, I did some form of music study, and through lessons and through when I was in elementary school playing brass, I learned how to read. And then when I got older, I kind of ventured more into it with the understanding of how it goes. So I just kept on pushing forward. And education in music is very important because you want to be theoretically sound in anything you do. And if you are, it makes the job a whole lot easier, and it makes you a lot more sought after.
Yeah. Do you think being able to read music is probably a critical aspect of being able to get hired for different gigs?
Depends on what you're doing. Certain things you have to know how to read. Thank God I know how to read for some of the things I've done. But it's pivotal just to get all the information for whatever you're trying to do, in my opinion. So if you're going to go for something, go for it all.
Yeah. So you wear a lot of different hats. What is kind of like a typical day in the life for you? I know that probably changes, so.
Yeah, well, I get up, kiss my beautiful wife. Then I go into my studio and I kind of try to time block out. Time for mixing on projects, doing bass parts for different clients, and then go out and play live most days. Some days I don't get to go in the studio because of playing live, or it depends on just what's going on, but it's always something going on, and I thank God for that.
Yeah. So how do you feel like you effectively switch from all the different hats that you wear, like from being a producer to playing locally or from touring nationally with an artist? Like, is it an intentional switch that you have to make when you're wearing different hats? Like, do you approach things differently depending on what role you're playing?
Definitely. The catalyst for that is actually awareness and being present, because there's times where I do things that really are not my cup of tea, but it's still music, and music is the most important thing. So it's really important to be present and to always operate in your yes with a cheerful heart.
So that's definitely something that you have taught me, is about giving and showing up with a cheerful heart. That's been a really effective thing for me to learn. Do you have a favorite part or role that you play as a musician? Meaning, do you love most playing live, or do you love most being an engineer? Do you like mixing the most or mastering? I know you've been getting into more of the engineering side of things. Do you have a favorite, or do you think that maybe doing all of them is kind of what makes you love what you do?
Well, I think they all kind of coincide with each other. But I mean, of course, the joy of touring and playing in front of thousands of people is the greatest thing in the world. But the creation of music, and then having the ability to make it sound like what you hear inside of your head, is pretty incredible. So right now, I would say creation and mixing has been my most fun because I get to stay at home with you.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, if you had to pick only one aspect of being a musician, which one would you choose to do? Which it sounds like being able to work from home is kind of, and that's
Record.
probably evolved, I would imagine. Like when
Yeah.
you first started, my projection on it would be like touring would be the goal, because then you get to be out kind of living the dream of what most people think is the dream, or, you know, in their
Dream.
minds what it looks like. Because I'm sure in reality it doesn't always actually look like what people think touring looks like. It's not as glamorous.
To the untrained eye, it is very glamorous. But I mean, it's very fulfilling. You know, it's a reminder of all the work that you've put in over the years and how far you've come. But if I could just do one thing, that would be to sit and record bass and track all day.
Interesting. I did not know that, so I am learning something new. That's also very good to know. Do you actually have a favorite kind of music? I know you've played everything from, you started in church, you really got heavily into touring through country music. Your gig on Mondays is at a blues bar. Do you have a specific kind of music that you prefer to play or love to play? Or do you just kind of love it all?
Funk and disco.
Yeah.
Ah, love it.
Yeah, that is not country. Okay. And for my final question, if you had one piece of advice to share with aspiring musicians who are looking to make it a full-time career, what's something that you can share from your own experience that you could share with someone else that's trying to make their way into music?
Simple. When it gets hard, push harder. Because it's never going to go away. It's going to just eat at you. It's going to eat at you. So the best thing is just to be aware and get present and just keep working harder, because it will happen.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to answer some of my questions, and I appreciate having you. Can you share with people where they can find your music, support your music, whether it be online or elsewhere?
Well, you can find my music on all streaming platforms under Source Sound, on Instagram and Facebook under Source Sound Nashville, or some of Miss K. Fox's music. You can find hers too, that I have had a lot to do with. And you can find me on Instagram at jnixmusics, JINXMUSIX musics. J. Nix Musics.
It's like a spelling bee. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I appreciate you, and I will see you at home.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.